Human trafficking in the U.S., yes, it certainly does exist. My mother left Chicago to go to California to get pregnant with me so that my sister wouldn't have to be part of my stepfather's sex ring. She returned to Chicago pregnant with me, gave birth, and pretty much just fed and diapered me until the time I was ready for my stepfather to start selling me. The grooming started at about age 3, just petting and oral, and not as severe. It was escalating to it. On my 5th birthday, I was expecting a birthday cake and a party, and instead I was auctioned. I was dressed up in my prettiest, frilliest dress, placed on a table, marched around, and the men bid on me. There were some police officers, my pediatrician, a couple of youth leaders, just people of all types there at the time. After the auction stopped, I was thrown into a room that had been painted over. It was a old coal bin. It's a room about 8 by 10 with a bed in it. I was violently raped a couple of times. My pediatrician came in, took a look at the damages that were done, said I'd be fine for group in the next couple of days, and they threw in some towels in my clothes and told me to get back dressed. I laid there on the floor pretty devastated, just sat there staring off into space before I finally did manage to put my clothing back on. When I'd gone back upstairs to our home from the basement, my mom, when she got home from work, beat the daylights out of me and just said, "You know what you did," and I pretty much never associated that she knew about the abuse because it was always passive comments. Group came on Thursday, and it was a meeting hall. There were separate rooms with the fold-up army cots type things, and the men picked girls. There's probably 15 girls and boys as well. We were partnered off, some of us, with the boys. The boys were forced to get an erection. I'm not even going to go into how they do that. It's not pleasant for the boys. We were videoed having sex, in other words, being raped by the boys. They punished us in various ways. One of the most torturous was if a girl had tried to run or got too uppity, as they called it. In other words, they struggled too much. They would be tied with their legs spread open on all fours and sprayed with the pheromone, is my guess, some kind of chemical that attracted the police dogs that my stepfather had been working with, and raped by the dogs. It caused quite a few deaths. Dogs, when they breed, will grab the throat of a struggling partner, and in the case of a human, our skin isn't thick enough, and several of the girls were actually bled to death from that. I've watched boys have their genitals cut and then had them sprayed with chemicals to make them burn. I had been forced to shoot a few of my animals and watch them burn. These were all things they used to control us. Running out of time quickly. We'll be doing a follow-up in a couple of minutes to this, but I just wanted to say this all happened in America. Land of the free. Not truly.